the lucky gentleman who runs Bernina of America. I've been with Bernina for just over 8 years, running the company, and it's been a pleasure for me. I came from the way outside of the sewing and quilting and crafting industry. This was completely new for me, and it is such an enjoyable industry around. Firstly, Bernina as a name, it's so well known. Obviously, it has such loyal customers, which is always fun. But it's the biggest problem we have in this industry is we've become a little bit like a cult. It's like we don't want other people to join us. And we should be trying to get everyone to join us because it is so fun and so so rewarding and stuff. But let me talk a little bit about Bernina. I'm hoping you all know Berninas. Do you all own a Bernina? Anybody who doesn't? Okay, we'll see you three afterwards. Let's see what can happen. Lock the doors. Bernina, if you don't know, it is a Swiss company. It's now 126 years old. This should be the 127th year. We celebrated the 125 a couple of years ago with some sort of special gold machines editions we did. I met one person earlier who owned one of those. But headquartered in Steckborn in Switzerland, which is about an hour outside of Zurich, very close to the Swiss-German border, Lake Constance. So you start to get a sense of, the Swiss are known for their precision and their engineering, of course. We're in very much sort of a German part of Switzerland. So you start to get a lot of that engineering background as well. So you start to, you start to know the people who work at Bernina. You start to understand, the culture a lot, really, from the people that are involved in the business. The business is still family owned. The fourth generation, Mr. Hans-Peter Olschi, is the current chairman, and he's been with Bernina pretty much all his life. The fifth generation are involved in the business. We have Philip drinking some coffee in the back of the room there. I assume it's coffee. It was obviously, he's out there selling Laura Star like crazy right now, but which is also a Swiss company. But Philip is here learning the craft, and his sister is actually in Singapore learning the craft on the other side. So it's a family business, very proudly so. I've worked in multinationals most of my life, and to be involved in a family business where I can see the owner, he's making decisions on things he wants to create and build around Bernina. They're not really for him. It's really about his children. He's leading a company that will be right for them, and he's making decisions that will really make the business stronger through the future. What else about Bernina? So does anyone know where the name Bernina comes from? Okay, so there's actually, and it comes back to the founder of Bernina, and he was looking for actually the first name of the company was not Bernina. It was the family name at that time. And he was looking for a strong consumer name to put behind one of his first machines, and he was looking around, and one of the second biggest mountain in Switzerland is actually called Bernina. Outside, very close to St. Moritz, and he just saw that as a symbol of strength and stability, and so he picked that name, and that's how the name came about. So everyone knows the Matterhorn, of course. That's the sort of the famous name. Then in France you got Mont Blanc, but Bernina is actually the second biggest, and it's quite an interesting mountain because you can actually walk it. It's one of those mountains you don't have to rock climb up. You can actually hike it.
I wouldn't say that's true.
I'm not that. I know your mother.
Yeah, my grandmother and my mom are the only family members in the Bernina family that actually went up there. Neither my grandfather or my father or I. Between my mom and my dad.
And he doesn't want to.
Very strong women.
Yes.
Yes. So it's Yeah, I've only ever been in the winter when it's full of snow, so I was never going to make that mecca. That's right. So Bernina is proud to be a Swiss company. We have machines both made in Switzerland, and we also have a factory in Thailand as well. We have both locations. Mainly our top of the line machines, our long arm, our 880. They're still made out of Switzerland. The facility in Thailand actually was put there almost 25 years ago. Started as really parts manufacturing, industrial machines, mechanical machines. It's kind of grown. I mean, obviously, the name Switzerland, Swiss name has obviously a certain element of quality to it, but it's also probably one of the most stable economies and currencies in the world, which means that everything gets more expensive in Switzerland and everything gets less expensive outside. So part of the reason, for having the Swiss lava machines made in Thailand is really it's just pure economics. I mean, our Bernina machines are already expensive. They'd even be far more expensive if everything was made in Switzerland. But research and development is all anchored out of there. The head office is there. Obviously, the family is there, but all product testing, everything comes out of Switzerland as a company. But really, just then, a lot of our machines have been moved over into our own facility. It's almost like a little Swiss factory in the middle of Thailand. So it's very good. Bernina is very different to a lot of the other sewing machine companies. One, we are family, but the philosophy is quite different. Bernina has always been about the quality. The quality of the machine is paramount to everything we do. So it starts with what you put inside the machine. If it's got Bernina on the outside, the belief is it's Bernina on the inside. So it means it's Bernina parts in there. And if you ever get the chance to see inside a Bernina, I mean it's rock solid. It's metal all the way through. There's actually a very funny YouTube video of a Swiss gentleman called Hans, who works with us in Chicago. He's our technical engineer, and he was actually talking about the 880 or the 830 at that time, which is our biggest machine. And he's holding it, and he's talking about the quality and the sturdiness and its weight and what it can do. And he's wobbling a little bit. He's Hans, he's Swiss. He's been drinking. He's doing good. But the camera backs out, and he's actually standing on another one of these machines 830s. I mean, the metal housing has that ability. He's a 200-pound guy at least. He's holding a 50-pound machine, and he's standing on top of another machine. And it's just, obviously, is not going to buckle at all. But he was just demonstrating the pure, the craftsmanship that goes in there that these machines are made absolutely to last, which sometimes is to our detriment, because people keep holding these machines forever. But it is a tremendous thing. So, we talk about quality, and what really makes, I think Bernina tick is, we always talk about the heart of the machine being the hook. The hook is really what, ensures a great quality stitch. That is fundamental to us. And that's why, our bobbin system is our own. We've developed it. We've developed our own hook system. No other company has developed a hook system in the last 40, 50 years. We've actually developed two. The current Bernina hook system that's in our 4 series, 5 series, and 7 evolved from our 8 series. It's got a 70% more bobbin capacity than others. But also it's what we refer to as front loading. Meaning, you open the door at the front of the machine and you have access to that bobbin. You can take it out and replace it. So you don't have to remove your project. You got instant access. Whereas all our competitors have moved to what's referred to as a drop-in bobbin, which is a generic system. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad. There's a lot of highly priced machines with that system, but it just doesn't fit our philosophy. When we're totally obsessed with stitch quality, we believe we need that better system. And, the drop-in system, obviously is just very different, very generic. So we have our own proprietary system, but that has given this real benefit of having this extra large bobbin, which really is a beautiful thing. You can just keep sewing for longer, and of course, accessing it that way. Bernina, machine-wise, we're pretty much into servicing as much as we can of the consumer's need. Bernina really started out, I'd say probably its core started out very much in the quilting world, but obviously, embroidery is becoming a very important thing. We've added on a lot of embroidery aspects to our machines. We got into long arm machines about 5 years ago, which was tremendously successful for us. And we kind of beg the question, why did it take so long? But it really is, it's very much an American thing, long arm quilting. You do get it in other parts of the world, but space is such a luxury here. It's more challenging in Europe that way. Europe tends to be a stronger garment focused market, and that's a big belief. I mean, Deb was talking about this earlier. I mean, I think that's the next phase that we're going to see here in the US. A lot of these younger generations, these younger mothers, are very much getting into be it home dec or making things. I don't know who watched the Oscars. Was that last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend. It I mean, you even have people on the red carpet now talking about, you know, the importance of where their clothes came from, you know, where the fabric came from. You know, we've seen that in food in the last 10 years. This idea of provenance, you know, where was the meat, you know, which farm did it come from? People aren't looking, you know, people are caring a lot more about this in the younger generation. And we're starting to see that trend in clothes as well, in terms of people interested in, hey, you know, doing their own thing because they know, hey, it was done right. It wasn't done in some sweatshop somewhere. That's an important thing. So I think garment sewing is going to be very important for us, and that's an area we're getting more into, and we're starting to make our own Bernina serges now, which is going to be very exciting as well. So again, it's about servicing all those needs. Very excited, one about this store, but also our potential, you know, flourishing partnership with Stitch in Heaven. I mean, they've been involved around Bernina for quite a while. I mean, it's been at least 5-6 years. I've been aware you've had machines on the cruise ships, so there's always been a relationship with Bernina. But obviously now with this new space and, you know, having the ability to have, you know, classrooms and all the support, it's become a very natural and probably organic, you know, fit for both of us. I think we've kind of both sort of danced around it for a few years, and now it's just naturally the time is right to start having a Bernina dealership here in Quilt, man. Today. So we're very excited about potentially, firstly, what this business is bringing to Texas, but also, you know, to the industry. I mean, it's important. I said earlier, we tend to act too much as a cult, and I think, you know, getting the name out there, not only of Bernina, but just of quilting and crafting in general is important. Clearly, that's, you know, that's happening beautifully here. So that was a little bit, obviously, about me, Bernina, our relationship here, and I'd really like to just turn it back over to all of you and answer any questions you might have about, be it products you have, or things that are going on, or things you want to know about. There's got to be something. It's not every day I'm here in Texas, so.
Does your machines have automatic threaders?
Yes. Not all of it. Depends on the price. Obviously, the more expensive it gets, the more.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But there's also what's called semi-automatic.
Yes.
It kind of gets you there and finish it off. Yes, absolutely.
Paul, will you always have a tulip machine? I mean, are you planning to do that every year?
No. So, wish we were. I mean, obviously, Tula's name is tremendously successful. She's a Bernina ambassador. She's always sewed on a Bernina ever since I've been around. We've always loaned her a machine. She's on our ambassador program. She's also played with our long arms, etc. She's come to our Bernina University. So she actually did a special edition with us on our 3 series. This machine just above here on the boats, the 350s. We used to do a special edition every year, one with Ricky Timms, Tula, Connor Steele. But then she came to me about 2 years ago with this idea. You know, she has a lot of her hardware, which I think you do have here as well. Her scissors and rotary cutters that have this kind of oil slick effect. What she said about it. She talked about doing that on a machine. Now the faceplate on the machine is not metal. It's made out of, you know, high fiber plastic. So it's not able to do that. So we actually put it on the throat of the machine, that effect. And they were sold last year, or pre-sold, very successful. We will be getting a few more in May, like an extra run of machines. So that Holly, if you're interested. But so she's been a great partner for us, and it was a special edition. Where really, you know, it's special because it's for a limited period of time versus a permanent feature. But I mean, could we have made it a inline machine? Her name is strong enough to do that. But then you change the dynamics.
But will you have a special edition with her?
We've tended nothing in the line right now. We continue to we always like to do a special edition. The model will change every year.
Okay.
There's always a theme behind it. There's a reason before that. It was the gold machines, the 125 years. We already know the one that's coming out for the end of this year. They typically come with something that makes them special as well, be it some equipment or, you know, a bundle of some kind. So that always changes every year as well. We don't keep repeating ourselves.
Explain the bundle.
Explain the bundle. So Bernina, my belief, if you're going to be selling a premium product, you need to maintain its premiumness. So it's not about, yes, can there be special pricing from time to time? Absolutely. But obviously the idea is you want to maintain our price integrity. I mean, no one wants to buy a machine and find out a month later, it's 25% cheaper because something's happening. People want to feel comfortable in their purchase. So my belief is one of, adding value. So when we do a special or maybe a promotional offer, it's about bringing extra, let's call it goodies, that you can purchase when you purchase that machine at that particular moment. So it maintains price integrity. So the Tula machine actually came with some her hardware, which is manufactured and made by one of our sister companies. It came with embroidery designs made by one of our sister companies that make Tula designs, embroidery collection, and it included the embroidery module as part of that and maintained. It was actually sold at a different price than our regular 770 that it was on, but it came with a lot of extra stuff and luggage so you could move the machine around. So that's the sort of so quite often every year we will do something like that. Have a special machine with a special bundle. Just makes it very So for those people that were thinking about it, now it's like I can't resist this one. This one's too good. This one's got my name on it.
What's your strongest market? US?
Absolutely. I think for any consumer good, it has to be the US. Although obviously for some industries, China obviously in consumer goods we're getting up there with it. But yes, we do about half of the world's business through the US market here. Very strong quilting market. I mean, the beauty about what makes America so strong for Bernina, and I'm sure for a lot of the sewing companies, is obviously there's such a strong middle class in America that obviously can do this. Whereas in other parts of the world they struggle to buy the top of the line machines. So we have a very good mix of the 880, the 790s, the 770s. In other markets they struggled with such big machines, and they don't necessarily want embroidery. So hence they tend to focus on sort of slightly lower prices. So that's really what helps the US raise up. We're not we're the most important in units, but it's our value that really makes the US the most important market more than the units per se.
When you pick, let me think, how am I gonna word this? For your distribution, your distributors.
Our dealers.
Do you maintain, the quilt shops that are Bernina distributor, do they need to maintain a certain volume with you to become Bernina distributor? How does that, I'm just nosy about that part of it.
So we refer to our terminology is dealers.
Dealers, okay,
Rather than distributors.
Okay.
For a distributor means you have sort of more mass
Right.
effect.
okay, dealer,
We have 400, and it stays pretty much at 400
nationwide,
nationwide.
Okay.
Yes, for example, we don't want 600 and we don't want 200.
right,
We feel that's right, but obviously there's a natural constant evolution. As people either close stores because of the internet or just retire for whatever reason. Yes, so it's not so much that we expect them to hit a certain financial criteria. I mean, firstly, we want them to be a viable business. So it depends on how they need to be viable, otherwise they can't provide the services. So sometimes, there are some dealerships that are quite small in size with us because they're servicing a small community, but play a geographical role. I mean, you could be in Montana and you've got 2 hours between a dealership. So, there's that, and then you get to obviously the East Coast, you get a more natural concentration because there's more population. So there's no one set rule.
okay,
But the reason they stay a Bernina dealer is because of the way they service their customers.
exactly,
That's the most important thing for us. So we don't mind if they're buying a little bit, but if they're doing the right thing by the brand, the right standards, providing the right classes, servicing the machines after sale, that's really what's very important.
I sew it up in Hurst, Texas, which is the fourth area, Dallas fourth area,
I know.
is a dealer and they do superb, so.
Yeah, they've been a dealer about 5 years. So fairly new.
That's who I bought mine through and so build my classes and things, so they do represent you real well.
And they're Bernina only dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the store once. Yeah, no, yeah. So and that's why, it's a learning curve with, Bernina. I mean, you start getting trained and you just constantly get to learn the machines and provide the service, and it just builds from that. Thank you.
I don't know if this is a question or a query in a way. I've owned Berninas for 20 years.
Thank you.
Love my Berninas, I've got 3 of them.
Thank you.
But in each and every one of
You
them.
need to talk to your friend.
I guess this is a brother, sister that I can't ever get rid of. And in each and every one of those machines, there's always an additional button that has absolutely nothing to load on it. And every time I've asked, are there upgrades or options that I can buy to use that button? For example, in one of my buttons, I have the eco button, and I love that button. But in one of my other machines, it doesn't have it. Can I get that put into my machine? And I can never get an answer that, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
No.
I wish it was that easy. I mean, obviously, when we create a machine, we call it refer to it as a platform. And so, just for pure economics, the housing of the machine, whilst it might have 3 or 4 different machines of it, so it's one. And so, hence, sometimes there's a button that really plays no role, but on its sister machine, it does.
Yeah.
And so really, it's not about, and then obviously everything's hardwired, so it's not, it connects to the interface. It's just not as easy to do that. There's been 2 circumstances that I'm aware of where there's been upgrade paths with the machine you have. It was when the 730 was launched. It had that's when the BSR, Bernina Stitch Regulator, was launched. And it was the same platform as the machine prior to it, which was the 200. And there was an upgrade kit that allowed the consumer to basically, without buying a new machine, pay X amount, and the dealer would give them the BSR and put the capability into the software. And then recently we had our 880 and 790s, and we added some embroidery machines, just purely embroidery only machines, B700, B500, which came with some new embroidery functionality. And obviously we wanted our top of the line machines to have them, so we sold what was called an upgrade kit to make your machine what's referred to as an 880 or 790 plus. And it brought the software into the machine, so a fraction of the price of doing that. So and I think that's something we'll probably follow more of, but it's where we're upgrading the interface mechanics. And again, it's we're downloading something into the machine, getting some software going. When you have to start doing mechanical
Rewiring.
changes, that's just not an easy path. And even us trying to do it in Chicago might not be feasible because of what goes on behind.
So basically, you're forcing me to do a trade up, huh?
Thank you very much. Well, at least you're honest about it.
But it's not the intent when the machine's sold. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
just the next series of machines are always better, and they bring new things, and you keep learning new things, keep bringing to the machines. Now you got color interfaces, so there's a natural path for it. That's why when we launch a new platform, you got to make sure that something new and better allows that.
But sometimes to make room for the new stuff, you get rid of some of the other stuff that you really like.
Hey, I know a lot of people have 7 or 8 machines because they just could not let it go, and they're keeping it for the grandchildren or for whatever reason. As you know, a lot of you ladies, you name your machines. It's like you can't get rid of it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm taking it with me.
Just because there's a little button there that some machines would have a knee lift fit, does not mean that they can pop that button off and put a knee lift in it.
Correct. Because again, it's exactly the same thing, it's the same housing.
Right.
We have that situation on the new 3 series. The 335 you can put it in, the 325 you can't.
Right.
The knee, that's a good example. That's such a Bernina thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you sew on a Bernina, you just get used to that. That's what we have on our serger as well.
Yeah.
Just lift up the
Cost
press.
effective.
Oh, you've only got 2 hands.
It's cost effective.
Any other questions, you guys? Alrighty.
Good job.
Take care.